Well, hello. I'm at the Marriott again, winding down the weekend, getting ready for another work week. And I know the children are getting ready for their first day of school on tomorrow. They're pretty excited. And I noticed a lot of my friends, James Gamble Jr., Jennifer Eaglin, Mosley, Sheila Hicks Owens, and several others posted that they were attending their various independent school districts' convocations. And when I read that, immediately the Holy Spirit quickened me and reminded me that convocations is God's idea. And when he mentions convocations, he's talking about his feast days. It's mentioned in Leviticus 23 and in Numbers. And every time the word convocation is mentioned, it's preceded by the word holy. That word holy means special. So if independent school districts saw the need of convocations, and they took it, really, it came from God's idea. God's idea was to get his people together for a divine appointment of worship so that we could experience his glory. God's glory is all that God is, all that God has, and all that God can do. So we're coming up on that time now. We're in the 6th month of the year on the Hebrew calendar, which is the month of Elul. And the 7th month begins what's known as the High Holy Days. That's where we celebrate the Feast of Trumpets, or Rosh Hashanah, on the first day of the 7th month. And then on the 10th day of the 7th month, we celebrate the Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. And then the 15th through the 22nd of the 7th month, we celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, or Sukkot, as the Hebrew name is. So I wonder, if you've never celebrated God's holy convocations, I want to invite you to participate and experience God's glory and watch your life change, watch your family change. So these are the times that we're coming up right now, and we will never, ever have these times again in our lifetime. Now, they may come back again, but you're never going to have a Shemitah year going into a Jubilee year and the 4 blood moons happen again ever in our lifetime. So I want to encourage you to celebrate God's holy convocations and watch him change your life. You know, at the Shemitah year, and during this time, this is when God changes your finances. He blesses you in the 6th, 7th, and the 8th year. And then in Jubilee, there's debt freedom, debt cancellation, and release. So I want to encourage you to celebrate God's holy convocations and watch. This year, this time, will never come back again in our lifetimes. So you have the opportunity of a lifetime to celebrate God's holy convocations and experience his glory, experience all that God is, all that God has, and all that God can do. So remember, walk in the Spirit in the fullness of God and live the overcoming abundant life. Be blessed.